So sorry about the technical difficulties, but we are on now.
We are
Yay.
on now, and you can admit who the technical difficulty was.
Well, no, I think it was partly my fault too.
No, that's
I mean,
okay. It's me.
Well, welcome to our 5th episode of Beyond the Book with the Shelfies.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here. Been so excited to talk about this book.
Oh, I know. Very fun book. And we are part of the Eastern Oklahoma Library System.
We got the district out.
We got the D out. Yeah, the district. They thought it was repetitive, right? I think is what the word was. So it's we are part of the Eastern Oklahoma Library System, based out of the Jim Lucas Checotah Public Library. And this is episode 5 of Beyond the Book. We're going to give everybody just a couple of seconds here to pop on. Please, when you do, say hi, give us a little hello or a wave in the comments below. And as you do that, we will continue to discuss.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
So today, and I probably should wait till somebody pops on and says hi that they're here, because the last episode I went ahead and said what we were reading and what we were going to be discussing, and everybody came on and we're like, what are we discussing again? They didn't know. So
we'll have to repeat that probably several times if people pop on. So
yeah, several times.
That's fine. Usually we just when I do a live stream, I wait about 3 minutes and then just
3 minutes.
Yeah, because it populates in people's feeds and they don't see it all the time because of Facebook's wonderful algorithm. So it takes a minute for it to register that.
Maybe while we wait, and I just thought this would be super fun because, okay, I know that the movie and the book were like, but I did like the movie.
Oh, I love them. I remember loving the movie.
And this was one of my favorite little songs.
So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that things should come to this. We try to warn you all You ain't no share our intellect, which might explain this disrespect. For all the natural wonders and roll. You
The last words they say.
Yes, exactly. When the dolphins left, I love that opening to that movie. That was hilarious that they created a song.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's just too fun.
Yeah, it was just and Martin Freeman who plays Arthur was just
Arthur Dent. Oh my goodness, he was perfect.
And
I'm sorry, even Moss Def, who plays Ford Prefect, he did an excellent job.
And
the
Alan Rickman was the robot.
Oh,
spot on.
Marvin, good old Marvin.
Which we'll bring up again when we get there. Probably.
I know, yeah.
We'll just talk with each other about it for 5 minutes, and then
you guys can just join in and tell us you're here. Yeah. Well, so today, if you guys haven't noticed, but we do have someone watching. Yay, hello. Please comment, say hi, let us know you're here and ready to ask us questions and discuss the book, because guess what we are talking about today? Dun 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 dun.
What's the other topic?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the book by Douglas Adams, the Hollywood or something movie. I guess it was Hollywood, wasn't it?
It was actually based on his original.
Yes, and I don't know if you watched
the
old BBC.
I have not. I saw that. I was like, I really should watch that, but I have not seen it.
I've seen this so many times that I started falling asleep. I thought, I should review it and watch it again. I fell asleep. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay, well, we're allowed to fall asleep. So.
Yes, we are. Now, just to let you guys know, these items, the movie, the book, the audiobook, they are all available via our awesome platforms, Hoopla, RB Digital, and Overdrive, as well as physical actual books and movies that you can check out. Yay!
And I read this years ago, read the book years ago, and so to refresh myself, I said, well, I'll listen to the audiobook. I drive a lot. And Stephen Fry, who narrates in the movie, narrates the audiobook, and it
Okay,
is perfect.
that is
so
perfect.
if you want to experience it in a new way,
I was going to ask you, because you mentioned you'd listen to the audiobook rather than read the
Mm-hmm.
book this time around. I was going to ask you, who was it that read it?
Oh.
That is so cool.
Perfect. And his way of delivery, to some of the jokes come to new life, in different ways.
Well, and he did an excellent job of narrating.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
so I can just totally see how it would be perfect as an audiobook.
Yeah, with him especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you know, now that we've revealed what we're reading today or discussing, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is by Douglas Adams, he further went and wrote more, which was, of course, obviously, I do this every time. The restaurant at the end of the universe is the second one. I know, it's like, we're not quite sure which way to go here. And then Life, the Universe, and Everything is the third. So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. And then Mostly Harmless. Now, the interesting thing about this one here
I learned that. I didn't even know that.
You didn't?
No,
I own it. Now,
I'm not surprised. Eventually, I will too.
I know. I should probably make mention that I have the complete.
That's so neat.
In one, and it's gold leafed. I don't know if you can see.
It has a little ribbon on it.
And it does have a little ribbon bookmark. It's like. Anyway, I have the ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide. Unfortunately, it doesn't say "Don't Panic" anywhere on here. So.
Well, I think the look of the book kind of just elicits that not panic.
That not
feeling.
panic
Maybe
mode,
it's a feeling they were going with more than a.
I think so. Yes, it's just so pretty, isn't it? Anyway,
yes, it is.
I just thought I'd bring that one in as a show and tell. Look what I've got. But to continue. Oh yay! Hey,
Kaylee.
I love this book and movie. Yay! We've got a fellow lover.
Yes, I do too.
So, and another thing. Which is the last one, interestingly enough, was finished by Ian Cofer. And I don't know if you know who that author is, but he's the one that wrote Artemis Fowl, the Artemis Fowl series. Anyway, him and Douglas Adams were really great friends. And Douglas Adams had his life cut short at 49. He had a heart attack, so he did not actually get to finish the book. And so Ian Cofer was able to take
it up.
Yeah.
I was reading about that. And actually, I was surprised. I didn't know that either. That he actually started the screenplay for the movie, Douglas Adams.
Yes,
and
he
they
helped
took
co-write it. Yeah,
and then went after he passed,
which I think is why
or later. I don't know if it's.
I liked it so much because it was co-written by Douglas Adams, and so it had his flair still. They kept his excellent humor.
Right. Yeah. The humor was spot on. Yeah, the casting was spot on in that whole.
They did such a good
experience.
job. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Sam Rockwell did such an excellent job as Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Yes.
Portraying his odd personality, and because it was very difficult. And half the book, I mean, as you go along, all of a sudden the narrator's trying to explain Zaphod. Like he's not, and he is, and he's, so basically he's like, and I wrote it down somewhere. He was excited and nervous at the same time.
Yes, and I thought he did really well at portraying that.
Yeah.
I love Trillian.
Yeah.
Who
Trisha McMillan.
Who was trying to was describing how dating him was frustrating.
Yes.
Like he didn't know if he was just pretending to be, and has like 5 pretending to be stupid, or was actually, or just really was stupid, or.
Oh yeah, and she had several letters of the stupidity that she was saying. Was he pretending to be stupid? Was he being stupid because he just didn't want to think about the question and all kinds of things? Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and so it just.
She was trying to guess which stupid level was he, or what was he trying to. Yeah, that was so funny. Well, now, unfortunately, I was a very bad Ford prefect today. Yeah. I brought my towel, but I forgot to get Arthur here his towel. Make sure he brought his towel. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
We can share. Look.
Oh, yes.
Here you go.
I don't know. Is that very much in the spirit of the book? I don't.
No, I
didn't
don't
sound
think
like. So,
always be prepared and have a towel.
yes.
And in fact, I had the towel. I thought I had the towel. The Hitchhiker's Guide. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy talks about the towel, and I thought I had it, but I don't have it postmarked. I think because it was such a long entry, I was like, well, it's such a fun entry because it's just so
Well, just how long
irrelevant.
it is how.
Yes, and that
because that's what Douglas Adams' strength is
Yeah.
he takes something really irrelevant and just goes on about
about
and
nothing.
silly, we think,
Silliness. Oh yes, I think that's what I liked about this book because I first read this when I was in my sci-fi stage. I was reading everything sci-fi, and I read this one, and I just loved the fact of that it was zany and the dry British humor, which for some reason I get really well. Some people do not get that.
Well, I will admit is that I have to put my brain into a gear to get it. Just
a different
because,
gear,
yes,
yeah.
because it is. I won't say I don't get it. I just I have to be in the mood. I guess that's what the thing.
Exactly.
And so I think we all have our moods, and sometimes I'm not in the mood. But he does it well. It's there. And
for the books that I was reading, the sci-fi that I was reading, it was such a step past, and yet it was still sci-fi. It was so different and so funny and almost enjoyable. I mean, not that any other sci-fi books are not enjoyable. They're enjoyable in their own way. This one was so almost like a breath of fresh air in a sense. So I was just like, oh my goodness, I got to read more.
Yeah.
Because I found out those more.
So, and I will be rereading this, and one of the funny things is he calls it a trilogy. And it's five books.
He just keeps going. He can't stop.
But he still calls it a trilogy, and it cracks.
Which we should probably make mention the fact that this wasn't even a book to begin with. It was actually a radio broadcast.
It was an audio drama.
Yeah. Back when the radio was big.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Funny, podcasts are coming back, so
Ooh,
you're getting.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yes. So then, of course, he had to translate it into book form, which I was reading somewhere they were talking about how he had a lot of difficulty because it was episodic as far as on the radio. And so he had to try to put it into book format and take it out of the episodes. But you can still kind of see that episodic element to it. Now, before we go any further, oh my gosh. Okay, how many viewers? Hi, we've got a couple more. Yay. Please say hello. I just wanted to make mention. This was just such a fun book, and it's always they're always fun. Every single one we've been doing. I know.
Are fun, so.
I know. This one though, I thought it would be so much fun to do another giveaway.
No.
There you go.
What are you giving away?
Oh, do you want to know? Okay.
I will know. I will represent you.
Okay.
What are you giving away?
You hold this one up. I'll hold this one up. We have actually 2 prizes today. And it is Don't Panic!
Oh, I love it.
These are awesome t-shirts. We have a size extra large and a size, what is that one?
Large.
Extra large and large. Don't panic.
We have an extra large, you mean? Oh, I'm kidding.
We only have one now. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay, so in order to win one of these giveaways, you have to answer a question. Dun, dun, dun. Now, I have several different questions. I have them ranging from very, very hard to slightly really easy. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think you can guess one of these? No, don't say it. Shh, quiet. I think that one's really easy.
Oh, yeah. I like that question.
This one I think might be a little hard. And now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to...
That one may
be a little hard. Because
that's
I don't
kind
even
of a
know.
little harder, but I think...
Yeah, I think these two.
Pay attention to the... Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this in the comment. This is the first question. You can tell it's going to be a good one. Jeremy's already chuckling.
Oh.
All right. So continue to discuss.
So yeah, the thing I really like about his writing is that it doesn't seem forced, and it's not a forced humor, and it kind of leads me to believe that I don't think he ever intended to really stop with 5. I know with 6. I know he had one before I knew they had the 6th one. I was thinking, oh,
Yes,
I
probably
have
not.
to stop with 5. But his sense of humor is just so good. The way he describes, probably my favorite thing. I probably shouldn't mention it.
Why not?
Because it's like it's one of your questions.
Oh, no, we can't give
We'll
away
wait.
the question.
We'll wait till that.
Okay,
so
okay.
I won't bring that up
our
yet.
very first question, and that one is, because they're both T-shirts, and you can, like, say, I need the extra large or the large. Our very first question is, Vogon poetry is considered the 3rd worst in the universe. But whose poetry, or what race's poetry, is considered the number 1 worst? Do you think you can get that question? Yeah, I was having a lot of fun with the questions, and that's one reason why I asked Jeremy here, because I was like, okay, now this one I think might be a little too hard.
I don't know. It may be a little too hard.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was in the movie or not.
I was trying to find the reveal. Do you have that? Just saying, do you have it like bookmarked in your book? What the reveal to that answer? How he revealed it? Because I want to read that. That's what reminded me about the.
Yeah. That one is my first question. Oh, there's the towel. See, I knew I had a tab. I got tabs all over my books.
They're 2 right next to each other.
Yeah,
that's why.
the towel. The towel, it says, is about the most massively useful thing in an interstellar hitchhiker can have. Partly, it has great practical value, and also there's psychological value. I won't read the whole thing, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I think there it is. Question number 1. Oh no, that's that one. So question number 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The very worst poetry of all. Can anybody guess? Oh, we've got a comment. Hang on. Okay, replying. Oh my goodness! Look at that. The very first.
Yes.
See, that one was way too easy, Jeremy.
Hey,
Joy McCullough. Joy McCullough has one. Okay, let's see. This one is. Oops.
That's the extra large.
Extra large.
You want the large or the extra large? So you can comment in in
do
here.
Comment.
We'll just hold them up until you comment. No.
Yes, and also please make mention of how you would like to pick up your prize. You can either come into the Jim Lucas Checotah Public Library. We're located in Checotah, Oklahoma, or you can give us your address, post private message, please, and we will mail it to you.
Yeah. Can you read that? Can we read that reveal of how he writes? Because one of the things that makes this book so good is his writing style.
I know. Vogon poetry is, of course, the 3rd worst in the universe. I don't know. Do you want to hear my horrible British accent?
I have Stephen Fry on my phone. You want me to have him read it?
That would be good, wouldn't it? The 2nd worst is that of the Asgoths of Krea. During a recitation of their poet master Grunthos the Flatulent of his poem Ode to a Small Lump of Green Putty I found in my armpit one midsummer morning. 4 of his audience died of internal hemorrhaging, and the president of the Mid-Galactic Arts Nobbling Council survived, only by gnawing one of his own legs off.
Wow.
Ouch. Grunthos is reported to have been disappointed by the poem's reception.
See, I just love the passive.
It's just so level, and like, it's one of those kind of humor there. You tell a joke, but it's like you got the straightest face ever.
And then the thing, the very worst poetry of all.
Oh yes, please.
Perished along with its creator, Paula Nancy Millstone Jennings of Greenbridge, Essex, England, in the destruction of the planet Earth. And I just think that whole thing, and he does that throughout the book. It's just seeming like just these like thoughts in there that don't really forward the story along, but just kind of like are like footnotes.
Oh,
but they present so well.
One of my favorites was that one where Arthur Dent says something, and it goes and travels through space and time to that one race, and they find it the worst comet ever. So they build up their armada and they come to attack Earth.
Yeah.
And the size turns out to be wrong, and the whole armada gets eaten by a dog, by a small dog when they come to attack Earth.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. Do
Yeah.
you remember that one?
Yes. It's
and it has nothing to do with the story or the plot or anything. And
no, it and one of the things that the revelation of the mice.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard again.
And the fact that we're sitting here when we think that we are conducting all the experiments on the mice, and it's the mice that are experimenting with us.
Yeah, and the scene. And if you haven't read, we're not going to read the whole thing to you, but
we'd love to though.
Yeah, we could do it if you can read it or listen to it. If you've read it before, of course, read it again, because the scene in which the mice were conversing with Arthur and the people is just the mannerisms.
The mannerisms, yes.
Pay attention to the mannerisms of the mice as they're drinking on the scotch or whatever it is. And
whiskey. I think they were
whiskey.
They were in a whiskey glass that they were using to transport themselves around or something.
And the way they speak, and maybe just this time Stephen Fry was doing the voices, and it was just.
It makes it perfect, huh?
Cracking me up all the time. I just was laughing.
Oh dear,
man. So, but yeah, I love this book. I'm now going to reread all. Now I'm going to read 5 of them and then read the 6th one.
Well, okay. And so here's the funny thing. I was actually going to add another title on here because the Salmon of Doubt, I used to think was part of the Hitchhiker's Guide series, because again, he never finished it, and nobody ever actually finished that one either. But interestingly enough, that one was part of the Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency series. And for some reason, I always thought it went with the.
Well, it sounds like it should.
It should, yeah. Salmon of Doubt.
It sounds like a title.
I know. Which I don't know if anybody has read Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agencies series. There's only 2 books. Well, technically 3-ish, because of the Salmon of Doubt was never finished. But they've actually made that into a show.
I did. Yes, I remember the show. See, I haven't read that series either.
You haven't? No. Oh my goodness, that one's so funny.
I'm really scattered in my reading.
Oh, that's okay though. See, I'm kind of one of those ones that if I read a book and I love the author, I will read everything.
When I was reading, I did that a lot, and when I became doing book clubs and everything, it just got to be where I was like, okay, what's the next book for book club? And then I would read maybe the rest of the series, and then I'd go, okay, I have to go somewhere else because I'm behind.
Oh, look, we have another entry.
Yes.
The dead swans lay in the stagnant pool. They turned around occasionally. Bits of flesh dropped off them from time to time and sank pools. They also smelt a great deal. Love this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Lay in the stagnant pool. They rotted, they turned around occasionally. Ew, gross! Well, thankfully, hopefully we've all had lunch now.
Yes.
Of course, something like that might turn it around in our stomachs as well.
Yeah. And just maybe we'll go.
Thank you very much for that. Wonderful.
Yes, I love sharing. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Well, okay. Since we're on to favorite quotes or excerpts, what was yours?
I can't reveal it now because it's one of the questions.
Oh.
Well, we can wait a little bit to do the question.
So we decided on this question and this question, right?
Yes.
Okay. Should we do another prize drawing or should we wait?
I'll reveal it after. I don't know.
You don't know?
I think we can do another prize drawing.
Okay, let's do another prize drawing. Okay, I am going to type. You continue talking. Okay. Because apparently I can't type and talk.
Well, I can't. But yeah, this question is my favorite, and I wouldn't say quote. It's my favorite section of the book. and just because it illustrates, again, it has really nothing to do with anything really that's going.
That seems to be everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I'm going to find it though, so I should have tabbed my book like you. You're smart. I never remembered to tab.
Oh, I love those little tabby things. And I got it for free from somewhere. I made an order or something from, and of course they'd love it if I advertised for them, and I can't remember. But anyway, and so I have a mess of them. All these little tabby things. I got them all over the place coming out of the book. But okay, what did the two? Make sure I've spelled that all right. Okay, so our next question for our next giveaway is, what did? Let's see, where did it go? I posted it, didn't I? Yes, there it is. What did the two Magothian missiles turn into?
Yeah, and so then I want to find it so I can read a little bit of it before. But you have it marked in.
No.
You don't have it?
No, I don't have it marked.
Okay, it's toward the. Yeah.
Because I was actually wanting to use my even harder question right there. I was going to be mean. I guess that's.
Well, we can still ask it. You just don't get a
that's
prize.
true. Yeah. Okay. No prizes for the hard one.
You get a good pat on the back virtually for
Yes.
answering the third question.
Prizes for all the easy ones and no prize for the hard one.
Okay, for some reason, I don't know why. It's just a thing. I should have done it. But yes, it's one of my favorite. Well, the answer is
no. You can't give the answer away.
No, it's like the answer is not my favorite, but
but what
the answer,
happens after the answer? Yeah.
So, what did the two Magothian?
Well, it says here, chapter 18. Let's see, 133, 132, 133. Jeremy's still trying to find it. Okay.
Yes.
So, but you have to wait until somebody answers.
Yes, I do.
I know. Okay.
I'll just leave mine there.
Yeah, we'll continue talking, and hopefully somebody will answer.
So, and I like probably my second favorite would be the brain. Escaped my mind.
Deep thought. No.
The one that's answering the question about the answer to everything in
Deep thought.
Deep thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Is that what you said a minute ago?
Yeah, the big computer called Deep Thought.
Deep thought. And
I said it too fast.
well, no, I don't. My brain probably needs to be taken out and dissected as well. But
please no, we don't want that to happen.
Deep thought when revealing the answer to the question, you're not going to like it. But no, we must know. We must know.
Yeah,
you're not
but
going
you're
to
not
like it.
gonna
What is
like
it?
I don't think you're
The
gonna
answer
like it.
is. Should I reveal the answer?
Well, sure, because that's not part of that.
I know, but spoiler. No kidding.
Spoiler
42.
alert! 42. I know.
What's the question? If you knew the right question, you'd know. and I just love the.
Yeah, because Deep Thought's all like, well, I mean, basically you've got to, what's the question? And they're like, everything. And you're like, well, you can't just, try to summarize everything into one little answer.
Yeah,
which is true.
And I really love the super depressed robot.
Oh,
Marvin.
Oh my
and
gosh. Yeah.
the fact that they got Alan Rickman to play Marvin in the movie
so perfect.
It
was so perfect.
Warmed my heart because he's so good. He was so good at everything he did. And
brain the size of a planet.
Yeah.
They asked me to go get.
That's probably the most I will do in my.
All that job satisfaction. Well, I don't.
Yeah. And one of those doors. And the sign doors.
Oh, he had such a thing about those doors. He hated those doors, man.
In the book, I would say probably my favorite quote. See, I'm hard saying just a quote because they're all scenes that are my favorite, just like a single quote.
Well, excerpts. Yeah, excerpts, quotes.
The whole computer as a.
Did you guys talk about 42 yet? I was a few minutes later.
We just did.
Did I get it right? Oh, I'm sorry, Kayla.
Say, yeah, this thing doesn't like to update. Go up.
Kayla, we don't see your comment actually. Did I get it right? What?
Type your comment again.
Yeah, because it did not show up.
But yeah, the computer voice says a Heidi there.
Hey there. Yeah, I know. Eddie, I'm Eddie, your shipboard computer.
Yeah.
And he's just so happy and joyful.
And,
the direct opposite of Marvin.
Yes, and Stephen Fry portrays it as a what's it? The Viking people.
Viking?
Minnesota voice. Hi there, Heidi there.
Oh, their accent.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, really?
And so that I was like, I never heard it in that voice. So
that is funny.
But right there. Yeah, and it's just the ends that the phrase is saying, it's just hysterical.
Okay, we're still not getting a pin comment. No, I don't see her comment ever anywhere above.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, just try typing it again, and we'll
definitely. And was it in response to the first question or the second question?
So yeah, and just you can answer both of them if you'd like.
Yeah, answer both of them, definitely. Well, okay, so I have to tell you what my favorite, and mine is a quote. Of course, I have like tons of favorite scenes and excerpts and things like that too. But one of my favorites was the whole scene at the very beginning when Arthur is like, "No, you can't bulldoze my house," and Mr. Prosser's there, and they're like, chatting back and forth, and then Ford shows up. And he suggests, well, I tell you what, while we pop on down to the pub and get a pint, you lay down here. That's just, again, just to reiterate what you were mentioning earlier, the whole book is like that.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, and the whole illustrative scene at the beginning of his house, that same thing in the intergalactic highway scene later, the mirror of events sets the book on its course. And it's just all of that. Over and over and over again. Just his house being demolished. Well, it's at the plant. It's at the.
It was at
the place.
An Alpha Centauri 3 or something like
and
that.
Yeah, well, it's not my problem. You can't go to the Alpha Centauri 3.
I know, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
So,
and of course, the plans were on display in the basement or the cellar
with no light or stairs.
With a sign on the door saying something, "Beware of the tiger."
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious. But my favorite quote is actually what Ford tells Arthur. He says, "Time is an illusion. Lunchtime doubly so." I mean, at first, when you first read that, you're like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. But then, if you think about it, it could make sense, but then again, it couldn't.
Right.
Do we have any more comments? No more comments. Oh, no.
Maybe we're missing some.
Is it Kaylee or Kayla? Or Kaylee?
It looks Kaylee. I think Kaylee. We sang that right, too. That's
Kaylee. Okay. I know I'm not seeing anything. She said hi. I love this book. There are the T-shirts you said were cool. Yay!
Yeah, I saw that.
And then did I get it right? Oh my goodness. Oh, please respond again. Go ahead and make the comment again.
Make the comment, or maybe you can reply to.
Yeah.
To what the question that we asked, just to.
Maybe it's on there. Do you think it's on there? Oh no, there it is. Yes. Yes. What?
Oh, I said it correct. You said it correctly. Go up to the question.
That could be it, huh? No, there's only one of those. Maybe on this first question. There is one like, but there's no comment on it.
Yeah, and it said replying. Joy replied. It said Joy was replying.
Right.
To when.
So we should have seen it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Okay.
So we got your yes, Kaylee. But if you want to try answering that question, what did the missiles turn into? again.
Yes.
And if someone else sees it, please let us know because we're not seeing it. So
I know, it's weird. But anyway, to go back to where you were talking about how it leads the book up to the whole story point of they're demolishing Arthur Dent's house to the point where the Vogons are destroying to make way for a bypass.
Yeah.
The Vogons are destroying Earth to make way for an interstellar bypass.
Interstellar bypass, yeah.
I think another kind of a deep reveal was the fact that Zaphod finds out that he's actually blocked some of his brain.
Right.
And so then that creates a whole nother question, like why and what for? And, you know, and it kind of explains some of his...
Yeah, his kind of absent-mindedness, we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Or not caring
and his
about
actions
things.
and some of the things he does, it's just hilarious. I thought that Sam Rockwell did an excellent job as Zaphod, running around the bridge, doing all his stuff on
It
the
just
movie.
seemed to kind of happen. Everything just seemed to kind of...
I know. Which, do we want to talk about the differences of the movie and the book?
We can a little bit. I did not get a chance to rewatch the movie again, but I do remember it.
Okay.
So we can. You can reveal them to me too.
Okay.
Because I know there are a couple. There, one thing I remember was, the how they get into the planet's interior.
Right. Yeah.
Was different.
The whale.
Yeah.
The poor whale.
Yeah.
And then of course, oh look, we got comments. I'm not seeing her response either. One of my favorite lines, because it made me laugh when I read it, was the ships hung in the sky in much the same way that bricks don't.
Yeah.
Actually, that's almost like everybody's favorite. I was reading somewhere, and somebody was talking about an interview or something, and everybody makes mention of that comment, of that one, and not the lunchtime.
Yeah,
one. I think the lunchtime one needs a bit more. No,
yeah. Well, it's just those comments. You know, they describe things
in such an odd, but not necessarily odd. Such a simple and
it's simple, straightforward, but it is odd to you don't wrap your brain that way around. You know, that can't, the ships hung in the sky in the same way that bricks don't. And you're like,
because bricks just
they're just kind of heavily hanging. I don't know. So but yeah, I do enjoy his wit, and I think he doesn't waste any words on his in illustrating what goes on in here in the unique way he does, because it's very unique. The whole book is very unique, which is why, because that's very British, because they do have a way of turning a phrase that is different than the way we would think.
Yeah.
And so that's why my brain has to flip into that mode. Same way if I watch British comedy on TV, I have to. Oh yeah, okay, I get it.
So in other words, you can't flip the channels like from BBC to back to The Big Bang or something else. Right. You can't do that between commercial breaks.
Yeah, there are a couple of things that a lot of people find funny, and I have to sit here and think, maybe I'm just dense. I don't know.
It takes you a little bit longer to get it.
And
I know
I'm like, okay, I get it now. And so then it's funny, but then it's not, because you had to think about it. The joke kind of.
But then it's even more funnier.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say funnier. I should just say more funny.
More funny or funnier. It's funnier.
Is funnier a word? I don't know.
I don't know. More funny.
More funny is the fact that it did take you a long time, because then
you become the joke.
Yes, exactly.
Part of it. It's part of your experience.
You can still laugh at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not a mean way of becoming part of the joke. Well, okay. Do you want to talk about that Humakavula guy, or do you just want to bypass him?
That's why because that was in the movie.
That was in the movie, and it is not in the book. Which I wanted to make a point that Douglas Adams did co-write the script.
Oh, I have no doubt we wanted to make it different.
Yeah, so he probably was okay with this guy. It was so weird. When I watched the movie and that whole scene came up and everything, I'm like going, okay, what is this? This is the weirdest thing ever.
That's it. I think it was in there in the spirit of Mr. Adams.
Yes.
If he didn't put it in there specifically. the writers did it in the spirit. It's like, we're just going to put something in there that doesn't belong in there because
Right.
you know, kind of mentality, or this not in there. We're just going to put it
and
in.
it helped to get them on to Magrathea,
Right.
because he had the coordinates. But the other thing that Adams, I think, kind of connected him, Kavula, to, I love the Zaphod's, I'm a Kavula!
Yeah,
When he finds out, yeah, that was funny, is the fact that he was a space pirate before.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the fact that he ran against Zaphod for president of the universe. Yeah. And he had that whole "don't vote for stupid" campaign.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that now. But it was kind of a plot device, because it did kind of speed them up to that point. Whereas this book is hard to put into 2 hours anyway. But
oh yeah,
any book is. But
they try. They
used it as a way to speed up the process a little bit without explaining a whole lot.
Right.
But you lose some of the humor, because part of the humor of the book is explaining everything and how it doesn't work. I'll put it that
true.
Way. But they did a wonderful job with the movie. So I don't. And
Zaphod actually doesn't lose his second head until the second book or the third book.
Mm-hmm.
It gets frozen, I think.
Well, yeah, and then there's a scene also with the dolphins that's not actually in the
first book, but
first
the
book.
second
It's in the
one.
second
book.
Yeah, they pull.
No, it's in the third one, right?
It may be in the
So
third
long
one.
it takes for all the fish.
Yeah, because they pull from the other two a little bit to.
Because time is an illusion.
Right. Yeah, and that's fine. I think I don't have any issue with that. It doesn't hurt it at all. So.
Yeah, I because it's been a while since I've actually read all of these. I reread the book again for today, but I didn't read all of them. So I actually sat there and went, okay, wait a minute. Hamakavula, is he actually a character at some point in another one of the books? And he's not.
No, he's not. So
not even mentioned.
No, it's a completely made up new
character. But the other one, of course, was the fact that Marvin at the end. Well, okay, first of all, we have to say that the police, the intergalactic police that are after Zaphod for stealing the heart of gold, in the movie they turn those into the Vogons.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Vogons have a much bigger character in the movie than they do in the book.
Yeah, the book they're kind of just.
They're there to destroy Earth and create the bypass highway. Yeah, but so in the movie, towards the end, the Vogons show up on Magrathea, or the second Earth, or whatever you want to say, and Marvin uses the point of view gun on them.
Yes, and they fall.
They all fall
into a depression. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No. Yes, indeed. Joy. Laugh out loud. John Malkovich. Oh, yes. Always worth adding in something. Oh, speaking of John Malkovich and all the blips of folks that show up in the movie. I mean, what are those called? Oh, so all of a sudden I forgot what it's called when all the different actors do a quick little scene or something. Cameo. Thank you. There was so many cameos.
Oh, yeah. And Helen Mirren was the I just drew a blank.
Yeah.
Helen Mirren was in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just perfect. It was just all perfect. I think they did well with the movie.
Yeah.
And
Zaphod, this guy,
Yeah. So you do a much better job at impersonating these than I do. So
well,
I'm gonna leave that to you.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm just slightly, just a skosh good at British accents, but that's all.
I can say water. That's about all I can do. Water.
Would you like some? Oh, tea, sir. Would you like some tea?
I can do that, but don't try me to. In any words in between those two words, the water for the tea. No, we're not going to do that. No, that's not me.
Oh my goodness. So, and then of course in the book, Marvin actually does save them, but he, instead of zaps the police with the point of view gun, which in the book there is no point of view gun. I love that point of view gun too.
Yes. Yeah.
Created by a group of angry housewives, wasn't it?
I think
Who
so. Yeah.
had enough with their husbands not knowing what it was they were thinking or something. And then, of course, Trillian, Zepha grabs it from her. Give me that thing. And she's like, it's not going to work. I'm already a woman.
And Zoe Deschanel was good in that movie, even though she didn't. She was the one that didn't match the character description in the book the most.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Just because,
The
but she was good. I like
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel, so she.
Yeah, she was good. I recently saw a picture of her. I think she went to the Oscars. Was it the Oscars? I don't know. And she had swept her bangs back and wasn't wearing her significant iconic glasses. So she didn't have her bangs and she didn't have her glasses, and nobody recognized
Who
her.
she was, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I remember reading something about that.
That was funny. Ooh, do we have another comment? We do. Helen Mirren, Deep Thought.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
Thought.
right.
Yeah.
She was an excellent Deep Thought.
Yeah, Helen Mirren's good at anything. There's another person that all those people are just so good in everything that they make the movie better just for being John Malkovich.
Just for being
Alan Rickman,
Marvin, the depressed robot.
Oh yeah,
brain the size of a planet.
Helen Mirren, just by being present, it's going to be movie will be watchable.
Yeah, you can just hear Helen Mirren go, "I don't think you'll like it."
Yeah. I'm going to watch that movie again because I want to watch it again.
Okay, here, you can check it out. I've got it right
yeah.
here. There you go.
Well, thank you. I will take it with me and check it out. So.
But yeah, so Marvin zaps the Vogons, and they all get depressed. But he actually talked to the police spaceship, and in talking to it, the police spaceship got so depressed that it committed suicide.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I understand why they would change that in the movie a little bit, just because it being sensitive to some of that. But no, it was hysterical in the book, and
because they didn't know, they were getting zapped up the wazoo in the building by the police, and then all of a sudden the police just go.
It's gone
because they were connected to the ship by their life support systems. Well, we are going to have to wrap up pretty quick here.
Do we want to reveal the answer to that one, or maybe ask the other?
We gotta wait. Where did let's see.
Well, we can always ask it again and see if people want to answer it later.
Yes, definitely. And I'm going to ask it one more time here. Okay, what did the two Magrathian missiles turn into that were on their way to explode the Heart of Gold?
See that whole scene too I like how it just takes away the.
I know, because you really want to talk about that because that's your favorite. Somebody guess it. No.
Intentionally, I'll talk about the time leading up before it because that's funny too. Intentionally, okay, I'm reading and trying to talk. I know,
we're reading the comments.
It intentionally took away from the tenseness of the moment because you know that they're going to be okay because
Yeah.
So
which
they're not.
Adams does that. He says, "Oh, everything's going to be okay. Someone's going to have a slight bruise on the back of their arm, but that's it." And you're like,
"But to keep the tension, we're going to tell you who's not going to tell you who will have the bruise."
Yeah.
You're going to be okay.
So just to reiterate our comments here, we've got Joy is like, Helen Mirren was Deep Thought. Yeah, she was perfect. She was indeed. And I know it. I just didn't want to answer it. Well, we're hoping maybe somebody, because Joy has already answered one question, the first one, and gotten it right. And then Joy says, let's do that. So fun. Oh, wait a minute. Do what? What are we talking about?
We said something, and
I know we said something.
We were just yammering. I was just yammering on, and probably didn't notice it, and that's what. So sorry, but let's know what you want to do.
Oh, while we're waiting for the deep reveal, so that deep thought, so that you can talk about your favorite moment in the book. I just wanted to let everybody know this is the funnest thing ever. In Austria, which is the actual place where Douglas Adams first thought of the whole Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy idea, they have a National Towel Day. Every year on May 25th is Towel Day. Yay! And May 25th is coming up pretty soon, so I don't know.
We should celebrate that.
I know we should. should have like a big towel day at the library.
Mhm. It would fit right into the summer program too.
Oh, it would. Oh my goodness, it's so. Anyway, Austria. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah.
Austria has National Towel Day on May 25th.
It's hysterical.
I know, it's awesome.
It is. So
May towel.
I just like, there's so much that I like about it that I can't just name one. Just the way the character's introduced. When hi, I've met you before. When he's talking to Zaphod, and he said,
Oh,
I
yeah.
met you before. You only had the one head at that point,
I
but
know,
you were Phil.
he's
and-
so disappointed Ford Prefect in
and-
that, though, because Ford wanted to be like, look at this,
Yeah.
meet my friend from Earth. I'm
Yeah.
bringing him along. Meet my
Yeah,
half cousin.
yeah. And it's, I met you. And like, yeah, there's a woman I was, interested in, and she comes.
She's like, hey, Arthur, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like,
So she's-
it's no big deal. Let's just act cool and nonchalant about
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah, it's just all of that is hysterical. It's hard for me to put in words. I can't put it in words because I fail dismally because he puts it in so much better words.
He does.
So the
puts
way
it
I
in
say it
perfect
is like a minuscule amount of funny, if it is funny at all, of what it is in the book. So,
Which is interesting because after reading this for the first time, I don't know, I think I was 13, 14. I don't know how old I was. I was somewhere around there. I wanted to try my hand at writing like that, like Douglas Adams.
no,
Irrelevant and funny and awesome.
right. Yeah.
So I wrote this short little blip, and I can't even remember how it goes. But it was funny and irrelevant and awesome.
Yeah. Well, you should have brought that and showed it.
I know, show and tell. Well, see, I figured my towel and my Hitchhiker's Guide complete, with gold leaf was good enough for show
That
and
is
tell.
good. That is good enough.
Yeah.
And here I am. I just brought a
Well,
horrible,
a well-loved.
well-loved version of the book that it's not anywhere near the original cover art.
Oh, well, that's okay though. It's
And
embroidered.
because
It's
it's
embroidered.
embroidered, and
Yeah.
the whole series looks like this. So the whole series of books, the 5 books.
I still like the old.
I
mean, like the restaurant at the end of the universe looks like one of those old neon signs.
Yeah.
The
So,
front
yeah,
of it
I
is
like
so
those too.
cool. I like.
I grabbed this a couple of days ago because I was listening to it and I wanted to kind of
Yeah.
look through and find the quotes that I wanted, and then I didn't even look at it. I mean, as far as tap it out like that. So
Okay, so I think that you should go ahead and talk because about your favorite.
okay, and I missed up my place because
Oh
I was
no,
looking
I'm
at all
sorry.
this other
Here,
stuff.
take my tabs.
Chapter 18. I
Here,
think.
take my tabs
It's
because
chapter
I've
18,
pretty
isn't
much used all my tab spaces, I believe. My towel tab because I really wanted to talk about the towel. Now, I will tell you this, guys. Okay, Joy. And if anybody else is there, we do have several viewers still. If you can get this guess, see if you can guess this. What race was it? And this is the one that Jeremy thought was a little too hard. What race was it that actually picked Ford and Arthur up from Earth first? That first hitchhike that they did. It was not the Vogons. Anybody? Do you want another hint? I'll tell you. It wasn't the Vogons,
No, it wasn't them.
but it was their caterers. Let's see if anybody can guess that. They're probably going to rush to Google or something and look it up.
Yeah. You want me to share this?
Yes,
now? Or you
yes,
don't? Okay.
definitely.
This is related somewhat to the answer, but just ignore it if you know that. I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. So this is about a whale.
The
We've
poor
mentioned the
whale.
whale before
I know.
as
the poor
opening.
whale.
Yeah. Another thing that was forgotten was the fact that against all probability, a sperm whale had suddenly been called into existence. And since this is not naturally a tenable position for a whale above the surface of the planet, I skipped a whole line. The poor innocent creature had a very little time to come to terms with its identity as a whale before it had come to terms with not being a whale anymore. This is a complete record of thought from the moment it began its life to the moment it ended it. And he goes on and say, "Oh, what's happening? Who am I? why am I here? What is my purpose in life? What do I,
And where are the cookies?
what do I mean it? Yeah.
No, he doesn't say that.
What is it? Hey, this is really exciting. So much to find out about. So much to look forward to. I'm quite dizzy. Or is it the wind? There really a lot to do now. Oh, well, hey, that's suddenly coming toward me very fast. Very, very fast. So big and flat and round. It needs a big, wide sounding name like, sound, round, ground. That's it. That's a good name, ground. I wonder if it will be friends with me. And the rest, after a sudden wet thud, was silence. That is probably, it's horrible. But
It's
but it's
horrible.
my favorite.
That poor whale.
It's so humorous. And
That
it's,
poor whale.
you know, the way,
Oh, which it's revealed it's actually revealed in what was it, the second or third book who actually the bowl of petunias is.
oh, yes.
And why it has that one thought
Oh, yeah.
as it goes plummeting down to earth and crashes.
Yeah, it's,
Look at that, she got it. It wasn't that hard. All right, Joy.
Yes,
It was the Denzassi. Actually, it was the Dentrassi.
yeah, you're close.
But you were really close. The Dentrasis. Yes. All right, Joy.
And just to piggyback on what we said, I'll just read this as short.
Okay.
Curiously enough, the only thing that went through the mind of the bowl of petunias as it fell was, oh no, not again. Many people have speculated that if we knew exactly why the bowl of petunias had thought that, we would know a lot more about the nature of the universe than we do now. And it just stops. And that's what's that, you're like, when you read it, you're like, what the heck? That doesn't do anything. You know, but it's so hysterical.
Yes.
And
The improbability of it all.
and then probability drive. Don't get me started on that. Just
Uh-oh.
hysterical.
No, do get started on
No, I just love the whole past half of the book is based on the improbability of it's happening, and it will probably happen.
And it will
Because
probably happen. Like the whole which we should probably talk about, the Galactica Encyclopedia, which it always makes mention of what the excerpt from the encyclopedia is before what the Hitchhiker's Guide says about that subject.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is too funny. But there was like a very long narration about how the improbability drive came to exist, and then the inventor was lynched because they just didn't like a smartass. Sorry.
Well, that's what.
But that's what it says in the book.
That's how we're quoting.
It's
a quote.
It's a quote. And so again, there's another one of those perfectly illogical, irrelevant, but so funny.
Oh yeah, and the other thing is all this technical stuff of things that don't even, you're like,
yeah.
and that's just all about the commentary of several different things that he touches on in the books and what are going on in the day and
oh man,
and just life in general. Making fun of himself quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I have to ask you, what is your favorite character?
Oh gosh, I'd have to say Ford.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ford, I think he's just kind of dragging Arthur through this experience.
Which he saves his life.
Oh yeah,
Takes
well the
him
whole
over,
and that's what. But like when they're getting ready to be thrown out of the airlock, and he goes, "Oh, what's that lever over there? What?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing. I'm just
It's nothing." Yes, we're about to die.
Yeah, we're about to die, and I'm just like, oh, but he just has some of those little lines in there that are just so funny, and like when they're talking about, is it he that says about the brain, like when they're going to make him a new brain, like it should be easy to make. All you have to do is have him say what, I don't know, and everything, and Arthur goes, what? And goes, see? And
mine is Marvin.
I think I like Marvin more now when I think of the movie.
Yes.
Because
and anymore, you read the book and all you can hear is
Alan
Rickman's voice.
Well, yeah, and when you read it, definitely I hear Stephen Fry's a little bit now too.
Yeah. And now every time I'm reading Zaphod, all I can picture is Sam Rockwell running around the bridge, being his zany self. Which I was on Netflix, I believe, has a new Sam Rockwell movie, and I can't even remember what it was now. This is sad. I was going to write it down and make mention of it.
And exactly, I think what you're talking about, Alan Rickman, right?
Yes, Alan Rickman. That's all you can think of now when you read and you hear Marvin's voice. Brain the size of a planet. They call this job satisfaction. Well, I don't. That was another one of my favorites. Oh, dear. Well, I don't know. I mean, I love Marvin, and mainly just because all I can hear is Alan Rickman. But I kind of like Zaphod.
I like Zaphod too. I think he's funny. I just think the cast of characters together are, when they all get together, like those Zaphod and Trillian and Ford and Arthur. And then Marvin in there. I think those. It's
and
just
Eddie. You can't forget Eddie.
Oh, Eddie,
the shipboard computer.
The computer. Of course.
Hi there.
So
I'm Eddie.
when they all are together, that's when they all just become such a perfect combo of character. Because alone, they were playing off of each other, but when they're all together on the ship, it's just they really come out of the personalities, how different they are. And
and I've got to say, I like Ford too, which I don't know if anybody else, I don't know if you did or not. Did you do a Google search of the Ford prefect and what it actually looks like? Because, his name, he thought it was a perfect name, unassuming, blend in, but it was actually the name of a car.
Uh-huh.
Did anybody look up the name of the car? No? It looks exactly like him. I mean, seriously, if you put a car and you had to pick a car that looks like this car looked exactly like Ford, both in the old version and in the new movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looked exactly like a Ford prefect.
And the Joy said, Alan Rickman really made the character from the book come alive for me. I hated Marvin before reading him in Alan Rickman's voice. So I just say, Alan Rickman can turn things around. It doesn't matter what he's in, what he does.
I love him as Dr. Lazarus too.
Yeah. Miners, not miners. I love that.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to.
That's another. Which is related to this because it's kind of the same vein of movie.
It is,
Galaxy.
Classic.
Quest.
Galaxy Quest. Yeah. Man.
It's just kind of a. The Trek people said, "This is a better Trek movie than a Trek movie." And I was like, "Why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do?" That's what when they talk about it. But yeah. So this.
And we didn't even get a chance to talk about the Doctor Who kind of parody there. I mean, if you think about it, with Ford Prefect being the Doctor, a really bad
Doctor. Yes, I didn't even that just. Yes, it's just
because
there.
I was sitting here rereading this, and of course I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. So when I first read it, I wasn't. I hadn't heard of Doctor Who yet, watched it or anything, and I'm sitting here.
I'm still new on the Doctor Who train too. So,
you're still new on it?
I've watched quite a bit of it now. I'm almost caught up.
I've watched all of it basically.
I have a friend who's been wanting me to watch it for years, and so we finally are sitting down. So,
even the old ones, the classics?
I haven't started. No, we started on the newer ones, and then we'll go back and watch.
Oh my goodness! Speaking of classics, okay, so Douglas Adams, right? When he was first starting out, he actually, before he did the Guardians,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna have to stop here real quick. But anyway, he actually wrote several episodes for the classic Doctor Who.
Really?
Yes, and one of them, interestingly enough, was one of my very favorites, which was I think Planet of the Pirates, or something like that. You guys will have to look into it because it is the funniest.
Well, I'll have to watch. We're watching the newer ones first, and we'll go back and watch them.
You guys keep saying Zaphod, but I really want to hear you all say his last name is Beeblebrox.
Beeblebrox.
Oh, although it was really funny when Zaphod Beeblebrox goes, Homakabula!
Yeah. What if that was a parody of Con?
Oh my goodness, that would be awesome if it was, huh? Oh my gosh, too fun. Beeblebrox. Yeah, Beeblebrox. For Beeblebrox. Okay, well, and you guys, we were able to get one guess for our giveaway, but do not fear. Don't panic.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah.
Don't panic.
Sneak that in there.
If you will.
I think the extra large is taken. We have the large.
We have the large
Right.
now. And if you will, the second question needs to be answered. Love that, Alan. I love it. Yes. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, so the large, and our second question was, what did the two Magrathean missiles turn into on their way down to?
Can I give a hint?
Yeah.
We've mentioned it.
Yes, we have. We mentioned it. Look at.
So if you're just joining us,
model.
go back and watch the video.
Yeah,
and
my model here. Model it for me, Jeremy. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, we have prizes to give away. Yay!
Yay.
So one of them has been won, I should say. And the other one has not yet. So you are more than willing to post your answer later on after the live session is over, and you're more than willing to go back and rewatch this as well to win your second prize. And
we'll try to comment. Reply
we're
to you.
we're gonna keep up on the comments and reply to you as soon as possible. Okay. All right. Oh, we should probably give them a deadline to answer. End of the week. Today's Thursday. Oh, which I've totally forgot to make mention. The whole thing about Thursday. We decided to do this as a Thursday, which I'm really glad Jeremy said, yes, I can make it on Thursday.
Yeah, I can make it on Thursday at the time we didn't. Sorry. Sorry. The brain's gone.
I was gonna be nice and just say it was technical difficulties.
Well, technical difficulty is true.
Yes.
It was a brain defect.
Oh, well, you're Zaphod then, huh? You've blocked off some of your brain, probably. That part of the brain.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's what it is.
One of
in the spirit of the book, I thought it. Okay. We'll make it up.
One of the reasons why we chose Thursday was because everything happened on Thursday, and Arthur goes, never could get the hang of Thursdays. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming by and commenting and discussing with us the book and the movie, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And please stay tuned for our poll, which I must mention. I post a poll after each one of the episodes for our next episode of Beyond the Book and what we will be reading or discussing. So I'm going to create a quick poll, and we're going to have some options.
Yeah, and do
oh, actually, I think I did create a poll.
I thought I saw it on there, but it's asking what the two books are that we're choosing from. Someone asked.
Someone asked? Where?
What's the choice of new books?
Oh, okay. So there's this zany Western called The Sisters Brothers. And
lost his deep thought.
He lost his deep thought.
Good one. Love it.
Good one, Joy. Good one.
That's true. I did.
You did. You lost your deep thought. Okay. Anyway.
I'm going to have Helen Mirren in my head.
Forever now, yes. And so there's the it's supposedly a dark humor zany Western called The Sisters Brothers, and then the other option is Warm Bodies. I'm glad you do.
And the movie. I love the book.
And the movie, yes. Warm Bodies, which is a interesting post-apocalyptic zombie story.
Yes,
zombie love story.
And you can be very dense like me and then realize much later what it's based on.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, really? I couldn't get that. So I'm not going to tell you. But
right. We got to save that for next episode. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that is if it gets picked.
Yeah.
The other option, I think, was Ella Enchanted. Because I just throw that one out every now and then. Because it's a classic. And hey, you know what? The book is way better than the movie. But it's still fun to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Any more comments? No? We better go. Oh my gosh, we've gone over an hour.
We could just keep going, probably.
We probably could for the rest of the day.
So I guess maybe we can end with it very appropriately by saying so long.
And thanks.
And thanks
for all the fish.
Bye.